One Pikeville church is working to extend its mission field far past the downtown streets and all the way to the battle line. WYMT's Buddy Forbes has more about a youth mission that is rekindling one local man's legacy.
For more than a decade, this building served as a safe space and gym for the young people of Pikeville. Now it is looking toward a new beginning. Mayfield Pennington, a popular Kentucky boxer, opened his gym in 1999 with the mission to give the kids in his hometown of Pikeville a safe place to grow and learn. That dream is something he fought for until his death in 2013. But his dream and dedication are now the fuel for a new movement by New Beginnings Church as Battle Line Boxing Gym grows.
Right now we're taking students really by referral, so we have 8 to 10 students weekly we're working with. We have 2 or 3 volunteers that are training them and also kind of becoming life coaches and mentors and just a positive influence in their life.
The space has been operating under the church's watch for 5 years. Now Arnett says he is just looking forward to see how the mission unfolds in the future. In Pikeville, Buddy Forbes, WYMT Mountain News.
The church is now working to renovate the space to try and bring a little more life to the bypass section of the town and a little more hope to the kids who call it home. We'll have more about those plans coming up at 6.
Well, we do have some fair weather clouds out there, but any of the clouds that would have provided us with rain showers, they're working on out of here. Mountain Parkway camera at Slade. Plenty of sunshine this afternoon. We're really starting to clear areas off after some of those showers earlier this morning and the dreary skies we had. Mid to upper 70s Buffalo Mountain camera. You see, we're still dealing with a few fair weather clouds, but the sun's slowly descending in the sky. You see, though, where the clouds still are, we're in the upper 60s to near 70 down along the Tennessee border, but going to the west, we're at or above 80 degrees right now. Monticello at 80, Somerset not far away at 79. Just ground clutter from the Louisville site there on our pinpoint Doppler. It's a clean sweep around the mountains. We expect it to stay that way, at least for a little while longer. You see the back edge of those clouds working through places like Whitesburg into Harlan, Pineville, Middlesboro, be pushing out over the next little bit, and we're going to be setting up for a quiet night of weather with maybe a stray shower. I can't completely rule it out, but it's mostly on the drier side. Mostly cloudy skies and low 60s tonight. A little bit cooler than the past couple of nights, but warm weather not quite done yet. I'll have the details on that coming up in just a bit. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Gabby Petrato's death was ruled a homicide, and today we are learning a little more about how it happened. Tuesday, a Wyoming coroner released the cause of death for the 22-year-old. CBS's Michael George has the latest.
A Wyoming coroner revealed more details Tuesday about the homicide of 22-year-old Gabby Petrato.
The cause, death by strangulation, and manner is homicide.
Petrato disappeared on a cross-country road trip with her fiance, Brian Laundrie. In August, police in Moab, Utah stopped the couple after a passerby reported an altercation. Petrato's body was found last month along the border of Grand Teton National Park.
All I can tell you about remains is that the body was outside for 3 to 4 weeks.
In Wyoming, only the cause and manner of death are released. Former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendaffer says it's not unusual for details from the medical examiner's report to be withheld until a trial.
In a high-profile case like this, law enforcement and the legal part of this case, which is the United States Attorney's Office, is going to want this information under wraps.
The still missing big piece of the equation, the whereabouts of Petrato's fiance.
Any sign of your son?
Last week, Laundrie's father briefly joined the exhaustive search for his son at a Florida nature preserve. Police want to question Laundrie about Petrato's disappearance, and there's a warrant for his arrest on alleged debit card fraud. Last week, a lawyer for the Petratos repeated the family's message.
For Brian, we're asking you to turn yourself in.
Visitors stopped by a memorial for Petrato in Northport, Florida one last time Monday. The city is dismantling some of the weather-damaged items and giving others to her grieving family. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
The coroner said little else about Petrato's physical condition, but noted when asked that she was not pregnant at the time of her death. The U.S. has already lost billions of dollars this year because of climate disasters. A new report from the National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration found the U.S. has faced 18 weather disasters this year that have each cost at least $1 billion. Hurricane Ida has been the costliest so far, exceeding $60 billion. The storm devastated the Gulf Coast, then caused catastrophic flooding to parts of the Northeast. In total, the cost of damage from weather events this year has topped $104 billion. In China, coal prices hit records again on Tuesday as flooding pushed the energy industry deeper into crisis there. Torrential rain in two key mining regions has pushed prices up 20% since Sunday. Coal-fired power producers will be allowed to charge some customers market prices from Friday. North Korea is sending a sharp warning to America and its allies, pledging to build an invincible military to protect against what it calls U.S. hostility. Just weeks ago, North Korea performed its first missile tests in 6 months, including nuclear-capable weapons that could reach targets in South Korea and Japan, along with U.S. military bases in the region. Some analysts believe Pyongyang will try to pressure South Korea into convincing the U.S. to relax harsh economic sanctions on the North. But until the Kim regime gives up its nuclear weapons, the U.S. has made it clear the sanctions are here to stay. Justice Brett Kavanaugh returned to the bench Tuesday. The Supreme Court justice was participating in the new term virtually after testing positive for COVID-19 on September 30th. At the time, the court said he was fully vaccinated and did not have any symptoms. Hillary Clinton is tackling world politics again, but this time it is all fictional. The former Secretary of State has co-authored the new geopolitical thriller, State of Terror. The novel follows a fictional Secretary of State who races to stop unexpected threats after a series of terrorist attacks. Clinton teamed up with best-selling crime novelist Louise Penny to write the novel, and Simon & Schuster published it. State of Terror is now in bookstores nationwide. A young Whitley County family is enjoying their new home after a unique journey with a local outreach program to get to this point. WYMT's Vivica Grayson has more on the Halls and how they ended up in the place they now call home.
Whitley County natives Tyler and Amber Hall say they would describe their previous home, which they rented, as a non-welcoming place. They said it did not feel like home, adding they dealt with safety hazards and more while living on the property.
Our washer and dryer was in the basement, and there was really steep steps going down. There just wasn't much room for us.
But this is changing after they and their 3 young children were selected by Mountain Outreach for their annual home build. The service-based ministry is hosted by the University of Cumberland's, working to help families like the Halls in search of a place they can truly call home.
For us, it's really an awesome honor to be able to build a home for a family that is in need, and we look at it as a hand up. It's not a handout, it's a hand up.
Now Amber tells me she and her family are thankful for Mountain Outreach and love their new home. In Whitley County, Vivica Grayson, WYMT Mountain News.
The Halls are settling into the new home after moving in a few weeks ago on September 15th. Earlier this year, a new Miss Kentucky was crowned, and Powell County native Haley B. Wheeler took home the coveted title. But her journey to the crown was not always so easy. Haley competed for the title of Miss Kentucky 6 times. Not only did her drive and determination help her get to where she is today, but Haley says her Eastern Kentucky roots give her the motivation to show others that no matter where you come from, the sky is always the limit.
I think people from Eastern Kentucky have a grit that is unmatched, and we have to harness that grit to get what we want. We can't just lay back and be complacent, in what the media says about us or what the rest of the world says about us. Don't be complacent. Prove people wrong. Show them you can. Doesn't matter where you're from.
We'll have more on Haley's journey to the Miss Kentucky crown, as well as what being from the mountains means to her, coming up at 5:30. But next, here on First at 4, the pandemic has prompted millions of Americans to re-examine their lives and livelihoods. Why some people are trading in offices for open fields.
And today we saw not the only showers we'll see over the next 7 days. I'll have the details when the wet weather returns.